an intelligence field in the cosmos establishing contact with human beings, then the human beings, in order to establish the dialogue, would have to personify the intelligence fields. And that's all we've done, is we've personified intelligence fields, and that's strictly a vehicle for communicating with a higher intelligence than we are. But we know in terms of hierarchical structure that we are a higher intelligence than the pigs that we raise for food, or than the turkeys, and so forth. In other words, human beings have an intelligence which...
So it stands to reason there might be somebody above us.
Exactly. Human beings have enough intelligence to create scientific methods, and scientific methods can control nature. We can build dams, we can reroute rivers, we can do things, so it stands to reason there's a higher intelligence than us. And now we're just groping around the very earliest stages. It's like the first discoveries of electricity, that kind of a thing, the very, very first...
You all take it so casually to see this thing jumping around in...
Well, it's part of our lives now.
Years.
I mean, I'm just boggled by the fact that...
Well, we're all boggled also, but you have to relate to
21 years now. We have guidance now. We have guidance which we'll publish one day. When we publish it, it'll be in thousands of pages.
Every once in a while you look at it and you say, well, how do I relate to this?
I have a question for Erica. Yeah. Considering that you were in this great conversation on Thursday, then Jazz walked in the room and you became a blubbering idiot, do you think that you could be in a collective with him and actually be living in the same space and working out of the same purse without becoming imbecilic?
Yeah. I think I could be a lot better friends renouncing negative intrigue and getting past that.
Good.
There's lots of precedent too, because
Yeah, right.
lots of other couples have decoupled in this commune.
Talk to the box more.
Okay, we're getting you on video, Fur.
Smile, Fur!
Wait,
So what was the question we were on the board? Do we have a question?
Do you have it? Rio de Janeiro?
What was the last?
Yes, ma'am. What is the question?
Should she go on the sleeping schedule tonight if she applies and any BFIC is open to her?
If she wants to.
Great
Anything else?
answer.
Very good answer.
Do you know that they calculated who you'd be sleeping with?
Yes, we already know.
We already
We
know.
already know.
Who's that?
She spells it with a K.
She must.
Erica must decide
Oh, so dear.
Yeah,
it's
Erica
Erica.
did say Erica.
if she wants life without romance. She must ask herself why she is
Can you all hear on the phone?
They have their mute button.
We're getting it.
so blocked up to is that an A? An idea whose time has well put, Pongo, come. Still, no, it's fine. Any more on this? No. Okay, read it back there, Rio.
The whole thing?
Yeah, the whole thing.
Freeform. New Keristans learn experientially. Question. Pongo, how should Judd vote if Erica decides to take the plunge? Answer is yes. Question. How about Way? Answer is yes. Question, why? Answer, Erica moves very quickly and means what she says. Question, should Erica go on the sleeping schedule tonight if she applies and any BFIC is open to her? Answer, if she wants to. Erica must decide if she wants life without romance. She must ask herself why she's so blocked up to an idea whose time has come.
Why are you so blocked up to an idea whose time has come?
Maybe I ought to try the idea.
Then you want to try it out? You mean you're not blocked up?
We can't hear Erica.
That's because she's nodding her head. Why don't you explain to them what you were doing?
Could you move the box closer to her? If someone just hand it to
Yes,
Tim
don't
and
push
just,
the buttons, Tim. Otherwise, we will lose them.
just the buttons on there. Yeah. There you go.
There's lots of cord here.
Yeah, you got it.
That's good. You can just
Yeah,
set it
give
right
them
there
a-
on the
give
sofa.
them a run out of
That's
what you're
good.
saying, Erica.
Okay, I think the reason of my clinging to romance is because it's the only thing I know, and I want to try something else. So I want to renounce romance.
So now you can either go into the utilitarian paradigm and have your father give you away to someone you've never met.
He represents individual philanthropy.
Well, you'll see why. You'll get a
He
bigger
gets to
sense
make a
for it.
little speech.
He's got a
It's
working
not
model for the third world.
Okay,
You'll
Erica's
see it.
going to make her speech
You'll
now.
see it.
Repeat that, Judd.
He's got a successful working model. Just as we're successful, we're independent, he's got a model on which, if you could picture it, a scene, 36 adults could operate a place like that. And there it is. So by the time we get ready to bring industrialists into our joint venture partnership, we just take them up to Harbin and say there's 36 people who live underground who operate this place. And they live in a self-reliant cooperative eco-home station. Have you seen the model in the back, in the middle room of the, it's a three-dimensional model. Why don't you take a moment and look at it? That's what we intend to build at a cost of around $4 million.
Can't miss it.
It's the way we
Now, you don't believe that you're going to wind up, you don't believe that you're going to wind up being one of the trustees of the largest construction project that's ever been conceived of in the history of civilization. You don't believe that, right?
It's possible. I believe it. I think it's going to happen. I think it's just like the people who designed Big Basin Redwood State Park.
How about Golden Gate
Will
Park?
that come
That's a
before or
biggie.
after we win the Nobel Peace Prize?
No, Big Basin Redwood State Park was a group. Golden Gate Park was one man called John McLaren. Golden Gate Park is the testimonial to individual entrepreneurship, but Big Basin Redwood State Park is the testimonial to the collective, because it was a group of them, and they really had to work to get California to set aside the state parks.
Oh, wow.
I think
I'll have
you've
to
got
get
a
the
very
story
important
from you
question there.
sometime.
I think it's going to happen after we win the Nobel Peace Prize. No, really, I think what we're going to do is we're going to start. I'll tell you what's going on. There's a phenomenon going on now. I'll tell you what the phenomenon is. More and more different organizations of repute are starting to offer prizes, £1,000 here in England, France, for new institutions that can solve human problems. And we're going to be sending better and better applications into all of those. And at a given point, we'll have our own school of feature story writers, and we'll be sending out articles. We'll have the Scientific Utopian News Syndicate, and more people are going to realize, hey, here's a solution for the human race, a positive view of the future. And then the Nobel Peace Prize people are going to say, let's take a look at your economics, and we'll say, here's our spreadsheets, here's this, here's that, here's the tribal accounting system of Kerista. The last guy that won it, the guy before this one, won it for a new accounting system, a new principle of accounting. Yeah.
You also might win the equivalent of the Nobel Peace Prize for philanthropy that David Rockefeller is trying to put
And
together.
also for literature, because our literature hasn't even begun yet. For example, Eve's comic strip is worthy of the Nobel Peace
Yeah,
Prize.
she might get one of those things where this guy gives people like $100,000.
Okay.
You're about to become a nun in paradise.
This
Nuns
is
and monks in paradise.
this is a significant religious ritual in the life of Keristans, because when a person becomes a Keristan, they are going through a significant turning point in life, and stepping over the broom signifies that, and you may notice, if you are alert to geography, that you are stepping over the broom from east to west, because this is the far out west and Kerista is seen as the star of the west. So in this ritual, one customarily makes a speech before stepping over the broom, and then once you step over the broom, you're a Keristan.
Do you know the difference between a Western civilization and Eastern civilization?
Tell me.
Eastern civilization has up till now glorified the idea of Oriental despotism.
Oriental despotism.
Okay?
Grand Oriental despotism.
Grand Oriental despotism. And Western civilization has two great ideas which can be fused together into responsible hedonism, and that is individual liberty and economic equality. And that's what we represent. From now on, for the rest of your life, you're going to experience the closest possible to individual liberty at its optimal and economic equality at its optimum. And you're totally freed of metaphysical guilt, because every single thing you do from morning till night will be connected to a solution that can be examined by the scholars of the world. And if you read the report put out by the Club of Rome called The Limits to Growth, they talk about the calamitous course that the human race is on, and they have no solution toward the end of the book, they say, and it'll take a utopian solution to get us out of this mess, which they don't have. But a lot of people in the West have faith in the innovation and resourcefulness of the people, and that's us. They just have faith that we exist. And all over the world, people in the third world light candles and pray that a group like us exists, that is coming to the rescue. And so that's the self-image that you're going to have.
Well, where do I start? I think that if you had told me any time in the last 24 years that I was going to be doing this tonight, I would have not believed it. But having gotten to the point where I'm doing it, I think that it's really exciting, and I think it's wonderful to be doing something that is so such a model, and I'm excited to be in a group that's going to win the Nobel Peace Prize. And I'm excited about my new group of best friends.
Hey, Erica, speak up just a little bit.
Why don't we move?
Oh,
Just hold it. No, put it up here.
no, I couldn't possibly repeat it.
Just
It's
pick
there.
it from where you are.
And we're getting
Yeah,
this
just
on
go on.
video, you guys.
Right.
Great.
And this is the biggest adventure I've ever made, and I think it's going to be the best one, too. And that's it.
All right.
Okay.
Okay.
You may step over the broom.
Presentation of the key.
Thank you.
And please make a statement, Erica, that if indeed you exercise your right to withdraw from the collective at any time, that you'll return the keys and return your name and go on with your life and leave gracefully, because graceful distancing is one of our standards.
Okay, if I decide to leave at any time, I'll return the keys and I'll return my name and I will distance gracefully.
Right, and anything that you ever bring into the collective is yours to leave with. At no point will you lose anything that you bring into the collective.
Okay.
Okay.